Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I'm going to be sharing the do's and don'ts for low porosity hair. Just in case you guys don't know what porosity is how well your hair absorbs moisture. So you put on a moisturizer on your hair. How well does your hair absorb that product? How well does that product sink into the strands? Does your hair feel soft after moisturizing? Does your hair feel like nothing was applied to it? That is basically porosity. I feel like that's the most important thing when it comes to learning about your hair. The way your hair curls and kinks is not important when it comes to finding which products work for you. So I personally do have low porosity hair, and I found this out by doing some research when I first went natural. And I'm so happy that I did, because I now know how to treat my hair. I now know which products to use, and my hair has been growing very, very well because of the research that I did. So the first do for low porosity hair is clarifying. I feel like every few weeks or so, you should definitely want to make sure that you're clarifying your hair and your scalp. Low porosity hair tends to get built up very, very easily, especially when you are wearing styles like twist outs and you re-moisturize, every few days. Products tend to pile up on our hair. You add a moisturizer, you add an oil, then a few days later you do it again, moisturizer, oil, and it just keeps piling up, and your hair's gonna get really greasy, really weighed down. Your styles are gonna look old, they're gonna look crappy, to be honest. You want to clarify quite frequently, more than a girl who has high porosity hair, because high porosity hair tends to suck in product very well, maybe too well. So personally, I like to clarify my hair, and I like to use this shampoo. It's not a clarifying shampoo, but it does a really, really good job with removing buildup without stripping my hair and making it feel dry. If you feel like you needed something a little bit stronger, then yes, go ahead, do some research and find a clarifying shampoo. Clarifying shampoos tend to look clear, like see-through. This one isn't. This one has a yellow color to it because it isn't a clarifying shampoo. It's just a moisturizing shampoo, but it does a really good job. It's very close to a clarifying shampoo, if I have to say so for myself. Another great way to clarify your hair or give your hair a detox is to use bentonite clay. I have a video of a recipe that I did on my hair, and I absolutely love it. I'll link it down below for you guys. Number two, so I don't do this as often as I used to, just because I've done things a little bit different, but for those of you who are just starting out, I would highly, highly recommend to deep condition your hair with heat. And I would say deep condition every single wash day. Our hair really loves it. Not only does our hair love deep conditioner, but it loves heat. Heat actually helps low porosity hair to open up. The cuticles on low porosity hair are closed tight like this. If you can see, nothing is going to get through this. But once you add heat, those cuticles open up, and now you can see that moisture and water and oils can get into those hair strands. Deep condition and heat is like the perfect, wicked combo for low porosity hair. Something that I used to do a lot is I would take my deep conditioner, for example, this one right here, take it, pour it into a small bowl, boil some water, and put that small bowl into a bigger bowl and let that help heat up your deep conditioner. Then apply it to your hair. So now that the deep conditioner is warm, your cuticles are gonna open up and allow that moisture in. If you don't want to do it that way, what you can do is apply your deep conditioner to your hair and then put on a plastic cap, or sit under a steamer or a hooded dryer and get that heat into the hair. Another way that you can do it is to shampoo your hair first, rinse out that shampoo with warm water, and then apply your deep conditioner to your hair. Your hair will be warm from the water that you just used, and now you can apply your deep conditioner to your hair. So those are three different ways that you can do it. Heat up your deep conditioner, apply your deep conditioner to your hair, sit under a hooded dryer, or apply your deep conditioner to warm hair, if that makes sense. So those are three ways that you can get heat and moisture in your hair. So this is something that I personally do on my hair, and I've been seeing a lot of other low porosity girls doing the same thing. Low porosity hair it's really weird sometimes, but I personally love deep conditioners or hair masks over conditioners, if that makes sense. A deep conditioner over a regular conditioner. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, my hair just loves a hair mask. If you're noticing that your hair is not accepting conditioners, feel like they're sitting on top of your hair, try a hair mask or a deep conditioner. That has been working for me. I have not found a conditioner that works as well as a deep conditioner does for my hair. So I would say this is a do. I'm not saying don't use conditioners, but try a deep conditioner instead of a conditioner and see how that works. So next one is LCO versus LOC. So if you don't know what those two things are, basically LCO is liquid cream oil, and that's personally what I use on my hair, and the other one is liquid oil cream. It's the way that you apply your products to your hair. For example, I would use a leave-in, a cream, and then an oil to moisturize my hair. Now, somebody with high porosity hair, they would probably go for the LOC. I feel like a lot of ladies with high porosity hair tend to use that method on their hair. They feel like it just works the best, and that's perfectly fine. Most low porosity girls like to use the LCO method, which I feel like works the best for us. But if LOC works best for you, go for it. Keep doing it. But if you don't know which one to use, try LCO on one side of your head and try LOC on the other side. So I definitely say that this is a good one. LCO for low porosity hair is the best. The next do is protein. So low porosity hair is protein sensitive for the most part, but we can handle small proteins. For example, silk protein, hydrolyzed protein, and wheat protein. Those are the 3 proteins that low porosity hair can handle. Anything else is a little bit too large for our hair, and we just don't absorb it. So the last do for low porosity hair is rinsing your hair, or to wash your hair with warm water. Because our cuticles are already closed, continuing to use something that's going to keep it closed is not a good idea. You want something that's going to open up those cuticles to allow moisture in. Using warm water when you're doing your hair, shampooing, conditioning, moisturizing, you want to use warm water. That helps the cuticles open up and let moisture in. So now we're gonna move on to the don'ts. So don'ts for low porosity hair, I feel like this is the big one, is try to stay away from really heavy products and heavy oils. This don't is a little bit on the fence because not everyone's low porosity hair is the same. Some of us do like heavy products and some of us don't. But for me, I wanna say for most low porosity girls, we tend to like creamy, medium to lightweight products. For example, I have Hibiscus Fusion here, which is a light to medium oil, which is perfect for all hair types, all porosities, because it is a moisturizing and also a sealing oil. It's perfect for everyone. Something that's a little bit heavier would be Lavender Shea. Even though I have low porosity hair, this works really well on my hair. I want to say it's because when I created this, I used a blend of light and heavy oils. It's not too heavy and it's not too light. It's kind of like right in the middle of the two. What I would say, this probably would not suit someone who has fine, thin, low porosity hair. This would be too heavy for them. But someone who has maybe medium or a little bit thicker hair, this is perfect. But like I said, everyone's hair is so different, so you really want to play with products. Definitely get the smaller sizes when you're ordering things or buying things. Try the smaller version and then work your way up once you figure it out whether or not you like it. There's one product that I honestly did not like when I tried it, was the Queen Helen's cholesterol, some hair thing. I don't even know. I'll put a picture of it on the screen, but I talked about it years ago, how I put it on my hair and it literally just fell off. Like it could not get into my hair. It was just extremely thick. It was something that everyone was talking about. And now that I think about it, the ones who were probably talking about it and raving about it must have had high porosity hair, because high porosity hair tends to like things that are a little bit heavier, thicker, really creamy, which is great. They need that moisture, and also they need those heavy products to help close their cuticles. But someone like me who has low porosity hair, something extremely thick like that was a big no. So yeah, that's just an example. One way that you'll know that your hair does not like something, if you were to put the product on and your hair just looks extremely greasy. For example, if you were to apply a deep conditioner or a conditioner, you applied it to your hair and went to go rinse it out and it just came right off. Your hair just feels dry. And that's what happens when you apply something very heavy to low porosity hair, or you apply something to your hair that your hair just does not like, cannot absorb, because molecules are just too big. Try to stay away from heavy butters and creams and oils and stick to something that is a little bit lighter, like grapeseed oil is a great one. So the next don't is protein treatments. And this is again a little bit on the fence because there's times when we do need protein. But for the most part, low porosity hair is full of protein and it doesn't need any more. So we don't really need to use products that have a lot of protein. And if you are using something that has protein, make sure that the protein that it contains are silk, wheat, and hydrolyzed. Those are the proteins that we can handle. I know it's a thing that, you know, on YouTube you may see ladies doing protein treatments because it helps to strengthen their hair. If you have low porosity hair, you most likely do not need a protein treatment. For example, if you need a protein treatment, you'll know. For example, moisture overload, which is something I have experienced in the past. I think what I did was I slept with deep conditioner in my hair overnight and I ended up with moisture overload. What this is that your hair becomes very gooey. It doesn't feel like hair anymore. It feels like wet bubble gum, if that makes sense. It feels very disgusting and it honestly feels like your hair is all going to fall out. So that is when you know you need protein in your hair. Too much moisture will cause moisture overload. When that happens, your hair becomes very, very stretchy. Like you can take a strand of hair and pull it, like just keep pulling it and it won't break. It's like a bungee cord. It's very scary, but there are amazing protein treatments out there. But again, low porosity hair, most likely you don't need protein, that extra protein. So what I try to do is to make sure that I am using products that do contain protein, but are not protein treatments, if that makes sense. When you do experience protein overload, it's gonna feel completely different from over moisturized hair. When you have protein overload, your hair just breaks. There's no stretch to it. It just snaps and breaks, snaps and breaks. When your hair is over moisturized, it's extremely stretchy and overly soft. Soft to the point that you don't even want to touch it because it feels so gross. I don't know if any of you guys have experienced it, but it feels disgusting. Protein overload hair feels very dry, feels very brittle. When your hair is feeling like that, very dry and very brittle, you definitely need to moisturize more, deep condition a lot more. I feel like fixing dry hair is a little bit easier than fixing moisture overload. It's a little bit of a longer journey when you over moisturize, in my opinion. At least that's what I experienced. Protein. Try and stay away from heavily protein products. So my last tip or my last don't would be try not to work on soaking wet hair. I feel like soaking wet hair kind of blocks your hair from some of the moisturizing products that your hair may need, like a leave-in or a moisturizer. I try to moisturize my hair when it is about halfway dry, so damp and not soaking wet. So what I like to use to help my hair just be damp is to use a spray bottle. I use my Mist 360 spray bottle and it creates like a nice thin layer of wetness, which is what I like to use for my hair. There are people who love to work on soaking wet hair, which is fine. If that's working, keep doing it. I personally like to work on damp hair, so I like to use this spray bottle when I feel like my hair is getting a little bit dry. I go ahead and spritz this a few times versus dumping my hair or, you know, soaking it down with water. Now I gotta wait for it to dry a little bit. I'd rather it be damp versus soaking wet. So those are my do's and don'ts for low porosity hair. I'm sure there's a whole lot more. I feel like these are like the #1 tips that I can give you guys. If you have any more that you would like to share, or if you have questions about your low porosity hair or questions about your hair in general, definitely leave them down below. I will be happy to answer them. I know a lot of other people would be happy to help you out as well. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.